Atlantis. Just saying the name conjures up these incredible images, right? A spectacular lost city, deep beneath the waves. But today, we're not just going to tell the story of Atlantis, we're going to unravel the story of the story. We're going to trace this legendary tale all the way back to its one and only source.
We all have this picture in our heads, this magnificent, almost magically advanced kingdom, impossibly beautiful, that just vanished into the ocean in some kind of cataclysmic event. It left behind nothing but whispers and a whole lot of mystery. And it's such a powerful image, isn't it? It's one that has captivated philosophers, historians, and, well, dreamers like us for nearly 2,400 years. I mean, that is one of the most enduring legends in all of Western civilization. But what if I told you that the tale wasn't originally about some utopian paradise? What if it was about something a lot darker? We're about to dive deep into where this incredible story actually came from, and I think you're going to be pretty surprised by what we find. Okay, let's get right into it. To find the truth, we have to travel all the way back to ancient Greece, around 360 BC. We're heading to the single origin point for every Atlantis theory, every movie, and every book that has ever existed. That's right. I mean, think about that for a second. Every single thing we think we know about Atlantis comes from just two texts, written by the great philosopher Plato. This isn't some ancient, widespread myth passed down through countless cultures. It's a story told by one very specific person, for a very specific reason.
So here's what Plato actually wrote about. And it's probably not what you're thinking. He didn't describe a peaceful utopia. Nope. He described a massive, aggressive empire that waged war across the known world, only to be stopped by, you guessed it, ancient Athens. This wasn't a sci-fi story. It was a cautionary tale about the dangers of power and greed, with the gods themselves delivering the final devastating punishment.
So, this brings us to the big question, the million-dollar question, really. Was Plato recounting a 9,000-year-old historical event that was passed down through generations? Or was he crafting a philosophical tool to teach a lesson?
Now, to get inside Plato's head, you have to understand two fundamental Greek concepts, mythos and logos. A logos is what it sounds like, a reasoned, logical, fact-based account. But a mythos, a myth, that wasn't just a fantasy story. It was a narrative used to reveal a deeper, more profound truth about the world. And this right here is the absolute key. For us, the word myth basically means fake story, right? But for Plato's audience, no way. A mythos was a story with a purpose, a narrative designed to teach you something fundamental about society or justice or the gods. It was just a different kind of truth.
So, most scholars agree that Atlantis was basically a giant thought experiment. Plato invented this evil empire of Atlantis to act as the perfect villain for his idealized version of ancient Athens. It was a fable, really, designed to warn against moral decay and the dangers of an unchecked thirst for power.
For centuries, people pretty much got it. Plato's story was treated as a philosophical fable. I mean, even his own student, Aristotle, reportedly joked about how Plato could create entire nations and then just destroy them. But then, in the modern era, the story came roaring back to life with a totally new interpretation.
So for a long, long time, Atlantis was just a philosophical curiosity. But that all changed in 1882. A book by a former U.S. congressman named Ignatius Donnelly came out, and it just electrified the public. He argued that Atlantis wasn't a myth at all, but a real historical mother civilization from which all other ancient cultures descended. And just like that, the hunt was on. Donnelly basically transformed Plato's philosophical allegory into a literal treasure map. People suddenly stopped asking, what does this story mean, and started asking, okay, where can we find it? Now, this has led to some absolutely fascinating theories. The most popular one, especially in academic circles, links the myth to the Minoan civilization. They were wiped out by a massive volcanic eruption on the island of Thera, which we now call Santorini, around 1600 BC. Others look to ancient civilizations in Spain or Sardinia, trying to find a real historical event that could have inspired Plato's story. So why? After more than 2,000 years, why are we still so obsessed with a story that was almost certainly intended as a philosophical fable? Well, the answer is that the story has become something much, much bigger than Plato ever intended. I mean, just think about it. The idea of a lost, advanced civilization is a cornerstone of our pop culture. It is everywhere. From Jules Verne visiting the ruins in a submarine, to Tolkien's version of it with Numenor, to countless movies, video games, and comics. Atlantis has been endlessly reimagined.
So maybe, in the end, the story of Atlantis isn't just Plato's story anymore. It's our story. It reflects our fascination with the unknown, our dream of a lost golden age, and maybe most importantly, it serves as this powerful warning about how fragile even the greatest civilizations can be. What we're searching for might not be a city after all, but a reflection of our own